All right, moving right along. Let's move on to this next one sent to me. Actually, I've been sent a version of this or something from this Dr. George Fraser a couple of times, and this is pretty consistent. I went on, and it's funny because last night I actually went on to. I tried to look into. I was like, what is he a doctor of? What has he written? What is his research? And I honestly still do not know. If anybody can tell me what his doctorate is in or his academic work is in. I'm assuming it's related to his popular work going back a couple of decades now, and I haven't read any of it, but I looked into, and it's all about motivation and networking. And he does books, where he interviews Oprah and other money makers, and I went on he had a webinar last night. So I went on his webinar. He looks a little bit older than he does here. No mustache anymore. I think he shaved that. I think he was mustache free last night. But it was just, again, a Black entrepreneurial, motivational, I'm going to teach you how to network, how to say everything about yourself in a few seconds. He said that he's a doctor. He's written all these books and given all these speeches, and made people. I think his number was $3.8 billion but I wasn't clear how or in what way or what. And even when I did some Google, I looked at his website and looked at it's all about buy my course, sign up for this conference, sign up for this event. I'm going to teach you how to network. Black people don't network, right? White people know how to network. So I don't get the vibe that we're going to agree that on our approach to anything. But let's just check this out.
Not poor. We're just broke. Our money goes in one direction, away from us, and we're some of America's most conspicuous consumers. We are a $1.1 trillion annual economy. If we were a nation, we would be the 16th richest nation in the entire world.
So again, in my work, it goes into and dispels all of this. What is it? So 1.8 trillion in buying power is already a false estimate and projection, as the Selig Center says in their own documents, as to what Black people can spend and on, again, what is owned by white corporations. So it is not, when he says we are a 1 point whatever trillion dollar economy, what is an economy? An economy is everything that goes into the exchange, the production of goods, services, materials, all of that. The 1.8 trillion in spending or buying power is only a reflection of what is available for spending on what are available goods owned and produced by someone else. It is not he's misrepresenting everything out of the gate. It is not an economy. It is not that 1.8 trillion dollar number is not the measurement of a GDP, for instance. It's not a measurement of the wealth created from all of the exchange and the purchasing and distribution and manufacturing of goods and services. Like, it is a measurement of all that is produced in a society and all that the consumption and exchange generates. The 1.8 trillion is not a generated number, is not a number generated based on people consuming and exchanging and producing and distributing goods and services within a Black community. And I hope I hope I'm making sense here. Similarly, this comparison to the nation thing, and again, I do a little bit more to detail this in the book, but the point being, those national rankings are based on GDP, gross domestic product. They are not based, which is different from what buying power is. in that classic debate, I might have to repost that again. In that classic debate with the CEO of Industrial Bank in DC, that black-owned bank in DC, he said the same thing to, he was on the phone, but to my face on the radio. Salute to Net for Freeman and WPFW for putting that together. It's one of my favorite moments because you have the head of a bank making that same mythological propagandized point and totally misunderstanding it. Maybe by accident, maybe not, I don't know. Gross domestic product is again a reflection of the exchange, the wealth produced for those who own the economy. If you have a colonial relationship with another country, being ranked on that list does not mark your is not a measurement of your freedom or your sovereignty. In many ways, it could be even a measurement of your indebtedness and embeddedness to the IMF or World Bank, for instance. GDP also is not a measurement of inequality within a community. So again, the black bourgeoisie are happy to have us avoid that point when excitedly talking about our national strength. But GDP doesn't measure inequality. It's a measurement for really those who own. It's showing with those 800 with the 6 trillion. That's what it's a measurement. It's a measurement of what they walk away with. So he's just out the gate, and that this is just regurgitated in perpetuity in these Instagram streets is crazy.
But again, our money goes in one direction, away from us, and we're some of America's most conspicuous consumers.
So if we are America's most conspicuous consumers, then let's have public policy that rewards that. Because again, the consumption is what drives the economy, a 70% based consumer economy. Meaning that if you don't consume, this economy collapses. And all the people who work at the salon and the coffees and the movie theaters and the clothing stores, all of them lose. So the point is, don't punish us. Stop talking down to the consumer and praise us. Yes, shopping and that new Netflix documentary has a disturbing, conclusion, but yes, shopping is bad and conspicuous consumption is bad. Capitalism is bad. But if you're not condemning capitalism and you're saying capitalism it works, then at least explain how it works and show, hey, no, in this society, consumption is great. When you conspicuously consume and you overshop, you are helping the society's economy. The problem is you don't benefit from it. So public policy should redirect that benefit. And that's why as I've been saying all morning, it's the same thing. Get the public policy to support the consumer and stop bashing us and then charging us for your networking capability, which is likely just connecting a handful of black people with white investment.
We will not stop buying from people who will not support us.
Never mind the advertising, marketing, propaganda in this society that generates all of that shopping and that consumption. We're not born this way. There's not an innate flaw. And I'm not aware that black people are even special in this consumption. Couldn't generate all the wealth in this society by ourselves. That's sort of the point.
We are addicted to consumption.
No, we are addicted to this mythology, and you are the pusher man. We get the propaganda to tell us to go shopping, and then we get the mythology that is because we are somehow broken, and that if we had your mindset, we'd all be rich, and that's ridiculous.
We do not produce anything that we buy, and we do not sell anything that we purchase.
Okay, what he's wearing there? What black manufacturer is ready to take up the slack when he wants to go find a suit and a tie and his little, is that not, I hope that's not an American flag pin, and his glasses and his haircut and his manicure and his shoes and his socks and his underwear and his undershirt and everything, his belt. Where, how would anyone black or black people take up the slack in producing all of those things? So this, again, it shouldn't matter if we're not the ones producing and manufacturing something. If we consume it, we should benefit from that consumption beyond the purchase itself and get a piece of the wealth that creates.
We just consume. There was an interesting article on the front page of USA Today, and here's what this article said about Negroes in America. The black baby boomers.
And I don't know if it's the edit or he just doesn't share with us, but I couldn't find that article either. But this is, I don't know what the proof is for this either. And the fact that it's in the USA Today, I don't know if that is enough of a source either. But
will be the first generation of Africans in America to raise another generation of Africans in America that will not do better than them. So in the 400...
So what I have seen over the years is that that's the case for everyone, that the Horatio Alger myth, as they were calling it, is over for everyone. So this is not special to black people. Again, black people are not specially bad at finance. This is I get it. These are black spokespeople claiming to be pro-black, but they're really parroting very pro-white, anti-black conservative politics.
The year history of our people, Mr. Hill, in this country. We are the only generation to raise another generation that will be worse off.
That's factually incorrect, unless he means the entire generation, because that's what has been shown. Not that black people are the only ones. And look at the pride he's showing here in condescending with with factless claims to his audience.
We collectively need our asses kicked.
No, we need to organize and collectively kick the ass of those oppressing us. This is exactly backwards.
You can count me out of that.
And you can count me out of that.
Will not contribute to that egregious statistic. And neither must you. We're not.
It's just wrong.